David, let's talk a little bit about your book that is so highly regarded and now out in paperback. Thank you for your service. Why were you compelled to write this book?
Well, I woke up thinking this morning about a soldier I got to know quite well when, in 2007, when I spent a year with an infantry battalion during the surge. This is a great guy who one day made a decision to go down this road rather than that road. This road led into another exploding bomb. Two of his guys died, and this great tough guy later in the day wrote a letter to his wife that said, "Baby, I'm going to need a little help when I get home." And so here we are. You know, these wars are about winding down, but the fact is that, look, war is profound, the effects are enduring, and there are a lot of people who need a little help, and that's what this new book is about, just trying to bring to light some of these people and what day-to-day life is like.
David, that's obviously the introduction to thank you for your service, your book, which is both depressing and incredibly real. Last night in Boston at a reception honoring wounded veterans and all veterans, actually, Ryan Pitts, Medal of Honor recipient, stood up and spoke publicly about the psychological baggage that he carries to this day, will carry for the rest of his life. Can we ever say enough or talk enough about what is out there and what goes unattended?
There are plenty of people talking about it. The difficulty, I think, is getting people to pay attention. And one thing that folks inside the system who are trying to help soldiers tell me again and again is that there is a window of public attention, and they can sense it closing. And once this happens, and people who are paying attention to the effects of war now, through giving to various charities and organizations, once that attention goes, you know, what are we left with?
So, Jake, what do we need to do? What do Americans need to do for our heroes coming out?
Yeah, I think, I wrote an article last night that I put up, and actually one of the things I recommended for the civilian population to do was to pick up David's book, which I read and is absolutely fantastic. I think that the public needs to not just thank veterans for their service. I think they need to ask them about it. You know, there's that Norman Rockwell painting of a Marine sitting in a garage talking to a couple of kids in his neighborhood after World War II.
Yeah.
I think we need to get back to where the moral burden of war is shared not by the 2.5 million that shouldered it directly in Iraq and Afghanistan, but by the 300 million Americans that sent them there. So that requires a conversation. It requires people to go beyond thanking someone for their service and saying, tell me about it, and getting over that sense of discomfort on what they might hear. It's really important for veterans to feel that the emotional and moral burden of combat is not just placed on their shoulders.
Just rest on them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jake, are you as a veteran leader encouraged by at least what you've seen early on from the new VA Secretary, Bob McDonald?
I think that Bob is bringing a level of excitement to the VA. I think what people want to see is action. I think the plan that he laid out yesterday, you know, has a lot of opportunity to change the VA. Now, the difficult part is how are we going to execute on that? I think what we're looking for right now is less planning and public statements and more action. Let's start seeing this plan put in at a tactical level. Let's start seeing some changes happen at the ground where the veterans are meeting VA officials on a regular basis. He's meeting with Bob McDonald in Washington, D.C. People are meeting with the receptionist at their local VA in Omaha, Nebraska. How are we seeing change at that level, and when are we going to start to see it?
All right. Jake, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Greatly appreciate it. David, thank you as well. Still ahead, Jenna Bush.